Good evening.
Erev Tov, Rabbi Frog.
There was a rabbi in Chicago, his name was Meislis. He was a survivor and he published Shalot Tshuvot, some of the questions that he was asked. One of them is, when you hear the question, it's frightening, but the fact that the person is asking it is, it says, I mean, in Boafak, I understand which type of person he was. It says a simple Yid from Oberlin. Oberlin means Hungarian Jew is very simple, we do what's right, no big philosophies, no. Unfortunately, before Rosh Hashanah, the Germans captured like 1,200 teenagers, and they said that on Rosh Hashanah they're going to gas them out. He went to the guard, and he says to the guard, listen, I smuggled a very expensive diamond. I would give it to you. Would you let my son out? He says, yes. But he said, to understand, I have to deliver 1,200 heads. So the man is asking a very interesting question. See, normally, we all know the general rule. The general rule is, here's a gun. Unless you kill this Jew, I would kill you. Remember, I have to kill to save my own neck. This is Yahared V'lo Ya'avor. Now, how about if I go? What? But if there's a very famous machloket Tosfot and Rambam.
I missed Rabbi Prok. I must have had a bad connection. I missed the story. Could you just quickly repeat it? I know he had a diamond, but that's what I lost.
The Nazis gathered 1,200 young Jewish boys. Before every holiday, they used to, unfortunately, make sure that the Jews have a serious reason to be in Avilut. His son, the only son that came with him to Auschwitz, was there. He approaches the guard and he says, I have a very expensive diamond. If I give it to you, would you let my son out? He says, yes. But if the guard does not deliver the number of heads, he would be killed. The man is asking Rabbi Meislis, mutar or asur? I'm giving you the following background before we go into Rabbi Meislis, how he dealt with it. But what happened if the Nazis took a man who weighs 300 pounds and they said, listen, we're making a movie. And we just were talking about it here. We would like to push you on the baby. To take a movie out of it. If you are not saying yes, we would kill you. Salim, what is the difference between this case and the case before? Again, the regular Gemara of Yahared V'lo Ya'avor is what? Here's a knife, Here's a
You have to do an action versus,
exactly as Salim says. Maybe if I have to physically kill my Chazid, the Damadi Dach Sumak Fei, maybe his blood is more. Here I'm not doing anything. I'm not saving the other guy. You realize? If the guy says, I'm not letting you push me, right? Or if he lets them push, is he killing the baby or the one that pushed him on the baby? According to Tosfot, according to Tosfot, it's mutar. And believe it or not, the Rama in Kufr Zahen says it's mutar. Again, you are not actively killing the other fellow, you are being pushed on you. You can look on it as you are the pawn. Now, in our case, according to Reb Chaim of Brisk, the Rambam strongly disagrees with that. According to Reb Chaim of Brisk, if in any way or form you're saving your neck and another person is going to be killed, regardless if you're doing anything wrong. But this is the way Reb Chaim learns in Rambam. But Tosfot and the Rama openly say, mutar. Now,
So what is the reason of, I mean,
okay, good.
Rab Chaim could say anything, but what's the underhanded lamtus from Rab Chaim?
The upper hand goes, the other side is going like this. When we say, everyone loves, it sounds so interesting. Who says that my blood is better than your blood? 100% right. But who says that your blood is better than my blood? You have to think about it. As he says, Reuven, kill Shimon. Otherwise, we would kill you, Reuven. Reuven is going to save his life by killing Shimon. Who says Reuven that your blood is better than Shimon?
Right.
Really? Who says that Shimon is better than me? Why should I let myself? So normally says Reb Chaim, so what do you do? It's called Shev Ve'al Ta'aseh Adif. Shev Ve'al Ta'aseh means because you really don't know, so don't do anything. Don't do anything means let yourself be killed, correct?
Right.
But in the case of the fat man, it's the exact opposite. The Shev Ve'al Ta'aseh means I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing it. Now, of course, you do understand that when we say my Chazid doesn't mean this guy might be a killer, the potential killer might be Rav Ovadia Yosef or Rabbi Feinstein. And the other fellow that he's supposed to kill might be an invalid. Maybe my Chazid. This is Rabbi Feinstein. This is not the way you measure it. The way Rashi says it, everyone is a child by Hashem, yes? Hashem says, and this is what Rashi learns. Hashem says, I love everyone, and human, Jewish life for me is more important than the mitzvah. Good? So if the choice is Esek Shabbat, eat on Yom Kippur, save your life, right? And do the Aveira, but listen how Rashi learns. But if Hashem is saying, I'm going to lose one of my children, it's either you or him, correct? Then, if you kill him, I'm losing my child, and an Aveira was done, Yes, because you have to kill him. This is the way Rashi in Masechet Yuma learned. You hear my chazit. My chazit means everyone is equal in the eyes of Hashem, but if I'm going to lose one of my two kids, and an active Avirah is going to be done, Hashem says, what am I gaining? Don't do it. But if I'm not doing anything, this is the Machloket Rambam and Tosfot. See, the way one of the proofs, remember, according to Reb Chaim, if your life is being saved at the expense of someone, regardless if you did it or didn't do it, they push you. And the proof of Reb Chaim is very interesting. Chaim says, the Gemara says, two people are traveling in the desert, Reuven and Shimon, and Reuven is the owner of a garden pouring spring water. He's the owner of the Gemara. Says Ben Torah, you have to share it with him. If you don't share it, he will die in 3 days. If you share it, there's 2 more days. Maybe both of you will die. Maybe both of you will be saved. But you cannot just drink it and let him die. Comes Rabbi Akiva and says, I have a pasuk. Chai achicha imach, chayecha kodmim lechayei chavalcha. I need a pasuk to tell me that because I am the warrior, I don't have to sacrifice my life for him, only because I owe the warrior. What is the logic of Ben Torah? Share it. There's a serious chance, not 100%, both of you will die. Why? Says Reb Chaim, this is the proof to my opinion. Because if you keep the water for yourself, you didn't kill the other fellow. He died from drought, from the sun, from sandstorm. But your life was saved, right? Indirectly, because of him. Says Reb Chaim, no, you can do that. If you go with this background, let's go to the question. This fellow is asking about my sins. His son is definitely being taken. All 1,200 kids are being taken. Bribes their God, he lets his son out. He's going to kidnap or grab or capture another fellow instead. The father is not doing anything. Not doing anything. He's giving the diamond, he gets his son. What God is doing. So normally, if you think about it externally, it has to do with the machloket, this machloket. According to Tosfot, if I'm not actively doing anything to the baby, I can save my life. According to the Rambam, the way Reb Chaim learned, you can. Anyway, the rabbi says, I told the fellow, how can you ask me a question like this? We need a Sanhedrin to say it. And the guy says, Rabbi, you are the only one here. I have to know, yes or no. And the rabbi is trying as much as he can to get out of the case. And the guy, the father says, you have to tell me what to do.
So wait, the father has to pay the diamond, but he has to kill somebody also?
Not to kill, no. The guard is in charge of delivering 1,200 people to the guest chambers, yes? If he lets his son out, It comes
He has
out
to get somebody else.
exactly. It comes out to 11.99. So he has to fill in 1200. See, according to Tosfot, you can see clearly, or at least it's domain odd. He's not doing it. And please remember also that,
It sounds like a grumma, though. No, I mean it's
but this is, you're right. If you would kill someone, the Gromen, you are a murderer, but not punishable by death. Please remember that here, I just quoted you a Gemara, that you cannot save your life at the expense of another person's life. Now here you hear clearly the machloket, Tosfot and Rambam. Tosfot are saying, the choice is you stand here, we would push you on the baby. Now, is he killing the baby? No. It's push on the baby. But the reality is, he is saving his life.
because the baby's dying, right?
The baby is dying.
But it's not for sure. Is it? If it's for sure, is it change?
No. But the baby is for talk for sure.
So if it's for sure, it still doesn't matter.
Right. And it's interesting how where did the support learn? Because the Gemara is asking, why didn't Esther, when the first selection of women came up and she was chosen, why didn't she fight back and let her kill her? It's Gilui Arayot. The Gemara says, listen carefully, Esther Karka Olam Abba. Here, Esther never initiated anything. For the duration of the year that she was married to Achashverosh, she was like an object. She never initiated. This is Gemara. Now, the Gemara wants to know, listen carefully now. How do we know that? I'll give you the language of the Gemara. Give me half a second. Listen carefully, I'm reading you a Gemara in Masechet Yoma Daf 82, Pei Bet Aleph, למטה. The Pasuk says, a woman was raped. ולנערה לא תעשה דבר. Everyone understands why. She's raped. צעקה הנערה ואין מושיע בה. She's screaming. כי בשדה מצא. Listen good now. The Pasuk continues, כי כאשר יקום איש על רעהו ורצחו נפש, כן הדבר הזה. She is like a murder victim. Why do I need this comparison to a murder victim? She didn't do anything. This is called in the language of the Gemara, this is called Hekesh. Hekesh means the Gemara is comparing here arayot to murder. Listen to the Gemara. הרי זה בא ללמד ונמצא במת. Listen. מה נערה אמור עשה ניתן להצילה בנפשו? The man is chasing the woman. Vapor. We can stop him by force him to kill him. Because it says, צעקה נערה ואין מושיע. משמע, if there is someone around, you have to save her. here, רוצח, ניתן להצילה בנפשו. You good? The Hekesh is telling me, same way you can kill the potential rapist, you can kill the potential murderer. But now the Hekesh goes backward, listen. ומה רוצח יהרג ולא יעבור? Again, מה זה יהרג ולא יעבור? If I can save my life by killing someone, לא יהרג, אף נערה אמור עשה יהרג ולא יעבור. You tell a man, we will kill you unless you have a relationship with this married woman, יהרג ולא יעבור. Very nice. Says to us for, again, listen carefully. Says to us for, the Gemara is asking later, how come Esther let herself be taken? She should fight and die. The Gemara answers, Esther karka olam havia, which means she never initiated anything. You hear this? If she is not actively, and by the way, this is the Halakha in Shulchan Aruch. The Jewish woman is about to be raped. She doesn't have to fight.
Yeah, she could be considered karka olam too, no?
No, she is. Every Jewish woman, if someone is trying to rape her, she doesn't have to give her life because she's karka olam, except.
Right, sure, okay.
Please listen good now. It says to us, how do I know that by רוצח, מה רוצח יהרג ולא יעבור? אף נערה אמור עשה יהרג ולא יעבור. And we just said that בנערה אמור עשה בגילוי עריות, if she is not actively doing anything, she doesn't have to die like Esther. So to us, always by shfichud damim, if the fat man is not doing anything, is being pushed on the baby, otherwise he would be killed, it's mutar. Now let's go. I mean, this is Tosfot Halakha L'Maaseh, and the Ramah Yored הולך כמו Tosfot. If you go now to our case, think of it. He's giving the diamond to the couple, the girl. The couple is releasing his child. After his son is released, he's looking for another, unfortunately, for another korban, yes? But the father didn't do anything. Because he did. תזכור, אנחנו מדברים עכשיו in the language of הלכה.
I know.
About emotion. In the language of halakha, the same way, here it is, they're telling the fat man, let yourself be killed, otherwise we will kill you. Oh, I didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. You fell on the baby. The answer is, I did not push myself on the baby, I was pushed on the baby, yes. I did not kill the unfortunate kid number 1200, was captured an hour later by the couple. This should be the but interestingly, let me read you here. Rabbi didn't tell him yes in town. The rabbi told him, I can't say yes or no. Listen. Says Rabbi Meislis, I'll tell it to you in Yiddish because I read it many years ago. I was so moved. Rabbi says the man to him, Christos, it means that you cannot give me a green light to do it. If so, you're telling me not to do it. So I'm accepting the psak of the Torah not to do it here. And next day, which was Rosh Hashanah, and all the kids were taken, the father all day was walking and says, I had my private Akedat Yitzchak here. Because he had a choice to say this, and he did not. Now, so this was a question that was, now, the Ma'ari Ibn Lev, one of the Geonim Atzumim that the Shach brings, he brings a Yerushalmi. Listen to this. Please listen good to this. This is a Yerushalmi, Masechet Baba Kama. Listen good. ראה אמת המים שוטפת ובאה לתוך שדה. You noticed a strong wave or whatever of water coming towards your field. Washes off, destroys your field. Here, עד שלא נכנסו המים לתוך שדנו. I'm making up now the distance. It's 100 feet away from my field. I noticed it. You're allowed to block the wave of water with stones. This way it doesn't go into your field. But what happened to the water? Now they have to go to the left. On the left is a field of your field, of your neighbor.
You're not doing anything according to the reasoning.
This is exactly the point.
That's the reason. If you're not doing it physically.
That's exactly the point now. Here it is. ראה אמת המים שוטפת ובאה לתוך שדנו, עד שלא נכנסו המים רשאי לפנותו למקום אחר. משנכנסו, but if the water, here it is, if the water is already gushing into yours, but there is still hundreds of gallons, then you cannot touch it. This is it. Because now you are actively taking it away to your friend. Yeah? So this is Bedinei Mamonot. The question is, can we, yes, compare it to the name of Ashur? Understand? So listen to the question that the Ma'ari Ibn Lev, one of the greatest Sfaradim Geonim Atzumim, this is the question that he was asked. Please listen carefully. Reuven had a very close relationship. Many people in Washington, Sarim v'Yoatzei Malchut. Sometimes the government used to capture wealthy Jews to work for the government for a couple of months. But if you have good connections, they'll let this Jew out, obviously for money, but they'll take another one. Yeah? Here's the question. This fellow who knows how to pull the strings in Washington, a good friend of his, was captured already. The question is, can he use his close relationship with the ministers or whoever the head of the police to release his friend, but they're definitely going to capture another Jew?
That's the same case.
It's exactly the same case. You realize? Of course, the difference is, of course, it is money and time, and over there was life and death. Now listen to this.
So here I have a question, Rabbi Prague. It's
Yeah.
not perfect, but I'm applying to college, to Yale, and someone else is applying to Yale, but the other person has an advantage over me because his father
Never gave $10 million to you.
No, but I want to use the other one because at a certain point, certain members in society, it didn't matter what your grades were. It mattered who your great grandparents were, or if you're a minority, if you're a black person. That it's racial, it's discriminate. They try to balance it out. But how does I got ahead because I put someone else down.
שאלה מצוינת, שאלה מצוינת. התשובה היא,
That's the rules of the game.
This is
It's
the-
not.
this is
Yeah,
the-
all right, you're right. You're right. That was the rule at that time, but the rule.
yeah, but your question should be,
Whether you're discussing it's fair or not, it's another question. But it's a rule of
Right.
the game.
It was the rule till they finally.
like, your question should be, your son is a member of a commander unit in Israel who is training for month and month to invade Iran. They have a special mission. This is your only child. You here already behind, behind the doors, the war with Iran is about to. And you're allowed to ship your son to live in Europe because you know that in 2 weeks, and of course, if you do it, they are going to replace your son. The team needs, the commander unit needs 20, 25 guys. זה אותו שלב בדיוק.
Right.
עכשיו תשמע דבר פלא, תשמע. The Maari Ibn Lev found a biblical story. Listen to the biblical story. It says in the end of Sefer Shmuel, there was a famine for 3 years. David, being the king, is asking the Urim and Thummim. They told him, El Shaul ואל בית אדמי אשר המית את הגיבורים. Because Shaul killed all the people in the city of the Kohanim, 84 Kohanim, the Givonim were converts. They were the water carriers, the wood choppers. Was the job. This created the Chilul Hashem because the Goyim said, look how the Jews are treating converts. This is the answer Hashem gives them. Hashem gives David why there is a famine. It's good. David comes to the Gibonim and David says to them, why are you so upset? Because you lost your job, you need a job, you need money. I'll give you as much money, as much gold you want. This is כתוב בתנ"ך. ויאמרו הגיבונים, ויאמרו לו הגיבונים, אין לנו כסף וזהב. We need 7 descendants of Shaul. We would like to hang them up. It is. By the way, the Gemara says that when they said it after David really was trying to offer them a lot of money, this is why the Gibonim were not allowed later to marry Jewish women, because David said, Rachmanim, Baishanim, Gomrei Chasadim. This is okay, fine. And David decides to do it, fine. This is not for now what gives David the right to do it. They are crazy. But the Gemara says, the Chilul Hashem among the Goyim was so big, that the Jews are not living nicely. Converts, fine. Forget now. Listen. One of the descendants of Shaul was Yehonatan. Was Mephibosheth.
Right.
Ben Yonatan, Ben Shaul. Yonatan was the best friend of David. He was dead already in the war. He has a son. it says, Vayachmol HaMelech al Mephibosheth. He couldn't hand over the son of his best friend. Listen carefully. Who did he give? ויקח המלך את שני בני רצפה בת היה. רצפה בת היה was
his wife.
a פילגש of שאול, אך מואפל, ואת חמשת בני מיכל בת שאול, השם ישמור אותם. Please listen carefully. The Gemara says, how can David decide that those 7 have to die to appease the Gibonim, to appease? Listen good what the Gemara answers in Yevamot. Hevirum lifnei Aaron. He passed all the descendants of Shaul in front of the Aaron. Anyone that the Aaron sucked in was given to the Gibonim. So the Gemara says, if the Aaron made the decision, what does it mean David had mercy on Mephibosheth? It's the Aaron, either yes or no. The Gemara says, David was praying hard that Mephibosheth should not go in. Fine? Okay? And listen to this now. So it comes out that if the Aaron would have taken Mephibosheth, David cannot do anything. Right? Only David was praying that he should not be taken in. Here, the Gemara says, Ilu haya Mephibosheth niklat, David cannot save him because he's already in. And by taking him out, it's like the one that you sent in is definitely going to die. Says the Ma'arival, if the government already took one particular Jew and he is walking, this man with close relationship cannot do anything. Because it's exactly as Mephibosheth. David was praying a lot that he should not be one of those who was captured. Yes? But it's clearly in the Gemara that if the 7 would be chosen, David cannot do anything. So this, the Ma'arival says, you cannot use your connections to save one particular guy that you know. But if you think about it, this case here is exactly the case with the man on the father, yes? Someone was captured already. If you let your son out, your son is there. Yichora, come out, it will be a sin. Okay, Be'ezrat Hashem, tomorrow night we'll continue. I'll be in upstate tomorrow night. Tomorrow morning we're learning regular in Sharet Zion.
Have a great night, everybody.
Good night. Good night, everybody.
And you're making your turn and you're doing it safely.